Good evening, it's meteorologist Michael Fecka. Welcome back to the 9 p.m. all-weather, all-streaming show that we do here every night during the workdays and on weekends. We stream it out to all of our streaming platforms as well as to Facebook Live. So if you are joining us from either of those platforms, please feel free to leave us a comment down below or a question. Hopefully, I'll be able to answer that as I go through the forecast, but if not, I'll go through at the very end and see if I can answer anything individually for you. Let's get started here with a look at our headlines. So for the next couple of days, what are we keeping track of? Well, at least for tonight, we're going to stay clear out there. It is going to be cooler as well. Temperatures will be dropping down into the lower 40s, and we'll stay breezy and cool at least through the first part of the work week. I think those cooler temperatures stick around through next weekend, but the breeze that we had going today will continue tomorrow and even on Tuesday before lightening up for the middle of the work week. And then we should also stay pretty dry here through much of the work week. Not a whole lot of opportunity for rain until we get towards the end of next week and into next weekend, where we're still tracking out maybe the chance for a few showers. But let's take a look at our radar setup right now across the U.S. We did have that potent cold front that moved through last night, and that brought us that round of non-severe thunderstorms. Actually, most of the storms last night stayed sub-severe, with gusts up to 40 or even 50 miles per hour as they rolled through, and they cleared out here overnight. And then we had a few more straggling storms that didn't look like they were going to be doing too much through this morning. However, they did take advantage of the atmosphere a little bit, and they actually ended up becoming severe storm warnings through areas like southern Illinois and past to the north of us here in Evansville, but it impacted areas like Posey, Gibson, and Pike counties as well, and Du Bois County all this morning with some pretty strong wind gusts. There were some reports of even some power lines and even some tree branches that were knocked about, but nothing too major, it seems, here in the tri-state. So that's all good news. Looking at a loop over the last 6 hours, you can see we've been dry here through the rest of this afternoon, and we'll stay dry through the rest of the night tonight. But looking at our highs today, we cooled down significantly. We only warmed all the way up into the upper 60s, but that's a little bit deceiving because likely that we reached our high earlier in the day, earlier in the morning. I don't think we really warmed up all that much this afternoon. We really stayed in the lower 60s, but this technically goes by midnight. So anything that was still warmer than what we got to earlier today, even if it was at midnight, that would be counting as our high. So we topped out at around 68 today, but many of us, stayed in the lower 60s through the afternoon with that breeze, making it feel a bit chillier out there. But we've cooled down a good bit since then. 50 degrees here in Evansville. The cool spot looks to be either Henderson at a 47, and then out towards southern Illinois, Fairfield and Harrisburg sitting at around 46 right now. We'll continue to drop down into the lower 40s for our temperatures for tonight. So looking at our 24-hour temperature change, I mean, what a difference a cold front can make, especially a pretty strong one. Just looking at it this time yesterday, we are 16 degrees colder than what we were 24 hours ago, and even more so just to our south. Bowling Green, 26 degrees cooler than where they were this time yesterday. So that is a very potent cold front, and it continues to march eastward here. It's not just us that was impacted by it, but much of the East Coast still have yet to see that front completely blow through. But once that does, that will bring that cooler air down all the way out towards the East Coast, and we'll also stay on the cooler side through much of this week. But looking at our next 12 hours here, we're going to stay clear with clear skies. Temperatures drop down to the lower 40s by the time we wake up tomorrow morning. But I mentioned those wind gusts. It did get pretty gusty out there today. Many of us gusted up into the 30s, some spots closer to 40 up towards Lawrenceville, gusted to around 39, and we got around 33 mile-per-hour wind gusts here in the Evansville area. So a very breezy day. I think the breeze will be a little bit less tomorrow, but still noticeable. And currently those wind gusts have calmed down a good bit. It's typically once the sun sets, you lose a lot of that heating element, which kind of aids in the strength of these wind gusts, but there's also pressure gradient force that was really tight after that cold front swung through, which is why we were so breezy earlier today. But we will hold on to that breeze. Gusts up to 25 miles per hour will be possible even through tomorrow, and they'll be out of the south this time. So today they were out of the west-northwest. Tomorrow they'll be shifting more southerly, and that is going to bring a bump in our temperatures. So instead of topping out in the lower 60s like we did this afternoon, we'll actually warm back up into the upper 60s to around 70 degrees by tomorrow afternoon due to that southerly wind, and we'll stay sunny out there. No real issues for Monday or Tuesday, or really much of next week. But looking at our future radar here, we should have a nice sunny day. You'll notice the winds coming up out of the south, warming us up a little bit. And then we do have another dry front that's expected to swing through overnight Monday and into Tuesday morning. But because it doesn't have much moisture with it, it will bring us maybe just a few passing clouds and perhaps a sprinkle or two anywhere as that front passes overhead, but doesn't seem to be anything too impactful there or major or disruptive. They'll kind of just drift on by and clear out of here through Tuesday, and then we'll have another nice day out there for Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Thursday. So looking at our rain chances, you'll notice they don't really start to pick back up again until Friday, and that's because we are going to be looking at another area of low pressure that's going to be drifting on by. However, this time, at least at this point in the forecasting period, doesn't look to be anything too serious. It looks like it's just going to be a couple of showers, but we'll stay dry Wednesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon, and even Friday morning. It's not until later in the afternoon Friday and into Friday evening that we'll start to see some showers work their way in from the west. You'll notice how they're fairly light in green in that color, indicating they're not going to be too heavy or intense, but we will continue to see some scattered shower activity lingering around Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Not a washout of a weekend by any means. Still going to be plenty of dry time in there if this were to hold true. Again, we're looking at a week away. Typically things change by then, but at this point it's just a couple of showers for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's really the only real rain opportunities we have through the next 7 days. Otherwise, it's going to be cool and dry out there. Looking at our temperature trend, we'll top out right around average for at least Monday and Tuesday, and then it looks like we'll actually get below average through the middle and end of the work week there, topping out only in the low to mid 60s Wednesday through Sunday. And then, of course, the cloud cover going to help keep those temperatures down a little bit more as well for next weekend. So that is a look at the forecast here. Let me go ahead and check out the comments. Looks like Ricky is saying hello. Hello to you too. Cheyenne, good evening. Thank you for joining us. William says he just checked his rain gauge readings, and yesterday he picked up nearly 3/4 of an inch, and today from this morning he picked up around 0.2 inches, so a total of 0.78. And it's funny that the Evansville airport got much more, and I'm not too far from there at Bosse Field. Yeah, that's just how, you know, these really, really tight bands of heavy rain work. You can get a real heavy downpour just a couple of miles away, but you'll still get some rain, but maybe just not as much. But thank you for the report. He just asked, now, what's this rain I see in the extended forecast for next week? And hopefully I just explained it for you. I know I'm looking back at these comments from a little bit earlier. Jeanette says Poseyville was hit hard. I woke up to the trailer with wind and was packing a big punch. Yeah, they were packing wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour this morning. Paula says good evening. Suzanne also says good evening. Kathy says thanks for the info. And then Paula Schaefer asks, okay, will we be able to see the comets? That is a great question. Let me see. The comet meteor shower. Actually, totally, oh yes, the Orionids meteor shower. And that actually peaks here, let's see, on October 21st. So through Tuesday, we actually do have a really good chance of probably seeing it. The skies should be fairly clear. You know, Monday night, we do have that dry front that's going to be moving through in the overnight hours, so that patchy cloud cover may cause some issues in terms of viewing, but hopefully we could still at least catch a couple of comets if you're looking at it early Monday morning or even later on Tuesday night. But it does look like we will have some clouds in the way for at least Monday night into early Tuesday morning. So that's not ideal, but I do still think we'll have a good chance of seeing something. And then it's a Christy Drake says good evening as well. So thanks to all you guys. How windy will it be for White and Hamilton counties tomorrow in southern Illinois? It looks like we all have potential to see wind gusts of up to 25 miles per hour tomorrow, generally out of the south. So a little bit weaker than what we got to today, but still a little bit noticeable. Definitely enough to blow around maybe some unsecure objects. So if you have anything light or any blow-up decorations, especially for Halloween, maybe keep them flattened out through Tuesday so that they're not blowing around or ripping out the cords from the ground. But yeah, nothing too crazy, nothing like a wind advisory or anything like that. So that is all the questions I am seeing for this evening. So I'm going to hop off of the live stream and I'll send you guys over to 14 News at 10 for all the latest news and weather headlines. Of course, we'll go on after Sunday Night Football. Hopefully that doesn't linger around too long so that we can all, head to rest early tonight. So that is all I've got for the forecast. I'll hop off now. Everyone, have a great night and stay safe.